road in a palm oil plantation. His home gone, his habitat gone. He had nowhere else to go but the plantation in search of food. Now we're getting ready to relocate him into some good orangutan habitat. Give him a second chance in the wild. Oh yeah, he is a big male with huge cheek pouches, but definitely not one we've seen before. The first thing we needed to do was sedate him. A male is 7 times stronger than me. If he wanted to, he could crush my skull. Yeah, he's going down. The tranquilizer's beginning to take effect. Shouldn't be long now. And now he's ready to be moved and given a full medical checkup. Okay, now we do the transfer.
Yeah, just watch it. No, he's got a hold on his neck there, so...
That is a very solid animal. At least 160 pounds. Pure muscle. And there he'll be. We'll take more samples, check his blood, make sure he's in good physical condition so that we can release him into the wild. Now, these fingerprints will go into a database so that he can be identified if he's ever found again. The thumb is the only finger that's shorter than mine. Look at this massive hand, about twice the size of my hand. And his teeth could crush a coconut, but they can also tell us his age.
5 molars, so he's about 15 to 16 years old, at least.
Should we call him?
Samson, Tarzan.
Zeus is good. All right. His life was turned upside down, but if at all possible, we'd make sure that Zeus found his way back to the wild.
As for the orphans, every day they were growing more and more prepared.
This forest behind the center is the playground for the young orangutans. They come here every day, spend all day out here training and learning how to get around in the wild.
How are you swinging?
We're gonna help you swing.
Whoa. You have a good grip there. Maybe you don't have such a good grip. It's an absolute priority that these guys know how to move through the forest, because falling from these heights can mean death.
They still need practice. These guys have got to know about the physics of the forest, because this branch isn't holding my weight anymore. So I've got to think fast, and I need to grab on to something else. Thanks. Thanks, bud. I'm gonna try to maneuver over like you are. You got that tree? Let me use the vine. Come on. You don't need it anymore. You've got the tree. Come on. I'm dying here. I'm dying here. Whoa. Okay, I'm loose.
We could get the orphans up a tree and climbing, but moving like an adult orangutan was in a completely different league.
It's like... There she is, bending the tree in order to reach for the next. She uses her body weight to vault. Boom, and she lets go of the branch. That's how they move, using trees as pole vaults. Look at her go. Her proportions of her arms and her legs are so different than ours. They're much better suited for climbing with super long arms and much shorter legs. Orangutan arms are 30% longer than their legs. Flame's just hanging out for the ride. He's observed his mom, and he's got to know his stuff by the time he's 8 years old. He's going to be 10 times the size he is now, and he's got to know which branches will hold him.
An orangutan has 4 ways to hold on. 2 hands plus 2 feet. When moving, they almost always hold on in at least 2 places. You could think of it as safety lines because orangutans are so big and heavy. And to make huge leaps like lighter monkeys is just not an option.
us?
You gotta watch where you stand around here. It's amazing that the orangutans have such control. Ah! Got my hair, too.
They are much better climbers than us, and it's all in the way orangutans are built.
Orangutan hands made for the trees.
Extra long fingers, and they can lock into a grip.
At the age of 5, their fingers are already as long as mine.
Orangs have the longest hands of all apes, and an extra joint gives them a locking mechanism, which enables them to hang much longer than humans.
And there's another amazing climbing adaptation. Watch that guy over there. There he goes. What he's got that I don't is a rotating hip. More than double hinged. It's got full rotation. All of their joints rotate, so he's able to use his feet almost like their hands. Show him your stuff, Bim Bim. No other ape has got joints that are so mobile, a full 360 degrees, just like our shoulder joints. Unique in the creature world.
Of course, it helps to have a thumb on your foot instead of a big toe so your feet can grab too.
Oh, hello, you. Come on, guys, we're moving to a new section of forest.
When they finally travel through the forest on their own, they'll have to be prepared to meet all kinds of creatures.
All these young orangutans have to know about snakes.
Because nobody is immune
To the bite of venomous snakes. So what we're gonna do is take this rubber snake and introduce it to the young orangutans. I'm gonna act afraid of it, so they're afraid of it too. How you doing, all right? I'm gonna teach you about snakes, okay? I'm gonna teach you about snakes, ready? Look at this, a snake. Run, run. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Ah, ah.
It worked. Look where he went, right over to Chris. Excellent. You run from snakes. That's what you do.
Wow, he learns fast. Orangutans are smart. They learn from your reaction how to react. And being another species teaching them about the ways of the forest, it's better to teach them to fear all snakes. All right, we have 2 more students who've come to snake school. Let's try it with the 3 of you. Just do it. Uh-oh. Snake! Snake! Run! Run away! Run! Snake! Ah! Go run!
The other 2 took off, but this one didn't. We'll have to keep trying. Spending this time with these young orangutans, it was impossible not to see the intelligence in their eyes. So observant, so thoughtful. They were like children.
Orangutans are known for being very curious about the things and the happenings in their environment. They manipulate things for so long. And these are some of the signs of intelligence. So you can tell these creatures are smart.
But just how smart are they? How does orangutan intelligence stack up against the other apes? The chimpanzee, the gorilla? And how do they compare to us humans?
Recognition of self in a reflection is one of the things intelligent animals like humans can do, and orangutans can do it too.
All of the great apes, the orangutan, the chimp, the gorilla, are so connected to humans. In fact, they share up to 98% of our DNA. And just like us, they all live in social groups where they learn from one another.
There's a huge variation in the creaturality of each ape. Right off the top, orangutans are much more arboreal, spending their lives up in the trees. Chimpanzees come to the ground much more than orangutans do.
And gorillas rarely go into the trees at all. Compared to chimpanzees, orangutans and gorillas are considered to be the more gentle of the great apes. But all of these creatures do certain things that we would consider violent. Young orangutans sometimes rape female orangutans.
And female gorillas will fight each other for the dominant male's attention.
Chimpanzees have wars against neighboring tribes. They kill members of their own troop, and they go on organized hunting raids to kill monkeys. Strangely enough, all these things are things humans do too.
And maybe more than anything else, what makes the great apes so much like humans is their brain power.
They can plan, problem solve, and imitate. Like this orangutan who began washing clothes after simply observing humans. And tool use is a natural talent for chimps and orangutans. It was the orphan's next survival skill to master.
All right, while nobody's looking, I'm gonna put some honey in this hole of the tree to simulate a beehive that they would find naturally in the forest. And then I'm gonna teach the orangutan-style technique of how to get honey from a beehive.
Using a tool.
Now, let me show you something. First, what you do, first you get a stick. No, don't use your finger. You use a stick. Buddy, not your lips, not your lips. The bees will sting you. Here, use the stick. Watch me, watch me. Look at this, watch this. Watch the stick, watch the stick. In the hole. Good. Here, I'll help you. Yeah. In the hole. He's getting a little frustrated using the stick. He doesn't have quite the dexterity to be able to stick it into the hole.
Yet.
It always gets stuck around the edges. Put it in. Put it in. Yes, you did it. Perfect. Brilliant creature. Excellent.
Every once in a while, an orangutan gets a hankering for protein. They'll eat eggs, chicks, squirrels, but insects are a major satisfier of the protein craving. She's got a termite stick in her mouth. Termites are a great source of protein for an orangutan, and they can be found burrowed inside wood.
See? Termites. He's latched onto my finger.
Once they're located, the orangutan sucks them up. Termites can also be found in bizarre and ball-shaped nests. The termites make them from regurgitated food and feces.
A termite ball. Just what an orangutan's looking for. Whoa, this is hard. The orangutans bite them open with their powerful jaws. Jaws that can bite through a coconut. But I'm not making any progress on this. Can't even get through.
And there they are, tiny little termites.
So what the orangutan does is just put those big orangutan lips in there.
Not bad, good protein.
The orphans picked up termite hunting fast.
Look at all these. Termite bonanza. Great, good, dig into it. Oh yes, right down there. Yeah, they love termites. These guys are well on their way to heading back into the wild.
And so is Zeus. He passed his physical, finished quarantine, and his re-release was just a matter of days.
Nice footwork, nice handwork.
After spending months, even years, learning what to eat and what not to eat, and how to move, and every skill necessary to become a wild orangutan, some of these orphans are ready
For the next step in their return to the wild.
The Before final release, it's pre-release at Kaja Island.
We're heading out to the pre-release islands with a big sack of food for the orangutans.
This supplements their diet at this key transitional stage where they're moving from being totally cared for in captivity to being completely independent and on their own in the wild. There's one. Oh, yeah. That's cool to see one on the river, baby.
Yeah. These islands are perfect pre-release sites because they're controlled, but without any fences, without any barriers except the natural barrier of the river. Orangutans hate to swim. This is the spot. There it is. All right. Here are some of the inhabitants on the island coming to greet us. The residents of this island are anywhere from 5 to 15 years old. Most of them are about 7 to 10. It's the transition phase. They have very little contact with people from the days at the orangutan school.
Chris, one's into some termites.
Oh, yeah, they're finding food on their own.
Let's find a place to dock on this island.
This little branch of the river will take us deeper inside the forest. And we'll be closer to the feeding spot.
You can tell by the way they're all gathering that they still need that supplemental food. They're not ready to go it on their own in the wild yet.
There are 44 orangutans living on this 108-hectare island.
In the wild, an area this size could support maybe 2 orangutans. So the supplemental feeding isn't just about training, it's also about survival for now.
They need this food to sustain them before final release.
All right, now we put it on this platform right here. An offering to our friends, one of the last bits of food that they'll get. There you go, bud. Soon, they'll have to completely fend for themselves.
Look at this big male. He is about 10 years and he's stealing the other male's corn. These subadult males are already asserting their dominance in hopes of one day becoming the big, dominant flange male, just like the one we met in the wild. Look at that 10-year-old. His flanges are starting to grow.
Hey, Mart, we better get out of here. We don't want to stay here too long.
That's right, because these orangutans are being weaned off of human contact as well. They don't want to be used to humans anymore when they're living in the wild. They want to avoid humans.
The less contact, the better.
What'd you do that for?
Okay, I get the message. Let's get out of here, because it's about the time that Zeus is ready to be released.
Zeus has been prepped and packed safely into a crate by the center's workers, so he can be airlifted by helicopter and relocated back to the forest.
He's in for a 20-mile journey, and Chris and I are making the trip by boat up the Mentengai River. We're heading up this tributary to a section of forest that is to become the new home for a very lucky orangutan.
Zeus is one of the lucky few orangutans to get a second chance in the wild. We're heading up this tributary northeast to meet the helicopter. The rendezvous point is at the edge of the Mawas Forest Reserve.
Got some big stuff.
Proboscis monkey! Stop! Oh, wow. Proboscis monkeys.
What a hunker on that guy.
Proboscis monkeys have huge noses. Why? There are 2 reasons. Probably either to release heat or to help in sexual selection. The females love those big noses that the males have. The females have much smaller noses, and the young proboscis monkeys even have dainty upturned noses. This primate is the best swimmer of all the primates. They'll dive into water from 50 feet up in the air.
This is a rare monkey, extremely endangered. Only 8,000 left in the world, only found on this island of Borneo. All right, let's go. Crank it up. All right, ready, let's go.
Gotta go meet Zeus.
Oh yeah, there he is! He's on his way! Okay, we picked a patch of forest that has some orangutans, but fewer than the forest can hold. So there's room in this forest for more orangutans. It was once a logging project that was since halted and stopped. And now this forest is protected, so it's a great place for new orangutans.
This is the spot where we're meeting the helicopter. We've got a big team on the ground. Once it's cleared, it's the drop zone.
And then we're gonna release him.
All right, looks good. Now it's just a waiting game.
Zeus had arrived.
There's his hand. He's ready to go. 1, 2, 3, go. He's sitting tight, but he might go any second.
Okay, nothing really goes according to plan. We're all set for the orangutan to make a quick break. But it's about half an hour now. He's barely moved. He's eating the bananas inside and doesn't want to go anywhere. He's got some great food. He's comfortable in there. We're on orangutan time. He's moving a little, 2 hands out now. Ambling down the log, long hands dragging. Oh, what a luck. Back to the forest. Living free and in the wild.
That was great. The man of the forest returns home.
What a creature.
It's great to be able to help them.
Zeus was one of the lucky ones, and we hope each and every orangutan at the rescue center will eventually complete his or her own journey home.
Home to a life where they can once again be the orangutan. A truly great, great ape.